And I guess that's where with the topic, like getting real with God, that was something that kind of developed for me, that through my teen years, going through things, going through, high school and whatnot, I had really low self-image and confidence, like definitely in like 12 to 13 years old, that phase, I think, for most young girls. And I also had a lot of health problems and all of those things compiling. And I was on like high, strong medications like steroids, and they had mental health side effects as well. And just all those things compounding, it was a really hard time. But I remember hearing the testimonies of the saints and how I like related to what their experience was, and realizing, wait, like that person's describing what I'm feeling and they're saying that they were healed of it. And so I started praying for a healing of like my, I guess, state of mind. And that came like through my teen years. And I remember just hitting a point in like my mid to late teens where I really just recognized for myself what it meant that Jesus died on the cross for us, that he didn't have to, but that he chose to. And, that I'm worthy through Jesus. And that was just a big revelation for me, and really healed my heart and mind. And I thank the Lord for that. And going forward, being able to just live for Christ. And with the process of like moving to Sydney and getting a job in Sydney and getting married and all of that process, it was so scary leaving Adelaide and everything that I had grown up with. But when you pray that, the Lord's will be done, you just have that peace, don't you, that what's going to happen is going to be blessed, and that's going to be of the Lord, and the Lord has a much higher, bigger, better plan than we do. So I'd like to praise the Lord for that. And then just a few other things I'd like to mention is that, like, growing up, with the health conditions, I was healed of numerous asthma attacks where I was like taken to hospital, but praise the Lord, like the saints would pray for me, and I'd, be all good again. When I was 2 years old, I was crossing a main road without any adult supervision. It was an accident, but there were two sisters standing outside the Vogue who saw me afar off, and they weren't going to get to me in time before a car would hit me, and they saw no one around, and they just went, praise the Lord. And a man out of nowhere jumped a fence, picked me up and took me to my mum, and she was like, wait, what? Like, this man's appeared with my 2-year-old child. She turned around and he was gone. And so praise the Lord for that. As I got older as well, when I was 12 years old, I had an anaphylactic reaction to seafood. I'd eaten seafood my whole childhood, and this time it didn't sit very well at all. I had to go to hospital. I was very sick. My whole body swelled up, head to toe, and yet whilst I'd eaten food, and that's what I was reacting to, my airway was completely unaffected, and I thank the Lord for that. That's something I continue to pray for. I did all the tests and they're like, yep, can confirm you're allergic to seafood. And it's something I prayed for. And I think last year, a year before, I tested negative. I'm not allergic to that anymore, and praise the Lord. What else? So many good things. But I think the biggest thing is just having God's guidance in your life, the peace of God, and praise the Lord. Thank you all.